What?
Pour it hot, pull it close. Sun's already on the porch. You've been working twice as hard for something you already got. Another orange morning, it's time to show. Another orange morning, it's time to grow. Another orange morning, let the updates flow. Another orange morning, you already know. Friends are coming through the door. Wheels are spinning on the floor. We don't know what we don't know. That's the only way to grow. Another orange morning, it's time to show. Another orange morning, it's time to grow. Another orange morning, let the updates flow. Another orange morning, you already know. What you're looking for is in your hand, been there all along. Pour another cup and pull a chair. Sing along. Another orange morning, it's time to show. Another orange morning, it's time to grow. Another orange morning, let the updates flow. Another orange morning, you already know. Hey! Hey!
Good morning, HubSpot Nation. Welcome to another Orange Morning. It is Wednesday, June 10th, 2026. Good morning, Casey.
Good morning, Chris. How are you doing?
I am doing great. Earlier today, I had AI correct me on a date and day of the week match that I gave it incorrect instruction on,
Mhm.
and it made me so happy. I said, do a daily recap for Tuesday, June 10th. And it was like, that's not going to work. Do you mean Tuesday, June 9th? I was like, we're here. This is AGI.
That is actually really great because, famously, in the past, AI has gotten its own confusion. You taught me a while ago, and I don't think this is true anymore, but the issue at one point was like the time the model had been last updated.
Well, there was some of that. So like the year would often be like just wrong because it's coming from its year. I mean, I built guardrails and it checked the date and time prior to doing that, but a lot of times it will still have that built in, and just since our calendar, and especially globally, like it might be the same day, like same time, and it's a different day somewhere else. So it like makes sense that this is a weakness. But I was just really happy that happened. And I was thinking to myself, do I really need to look at the date every time I say it out loud at the beginning of the show? And the answer is yes. And that's okay. How about some updates? We got
a break. They're cutting us a break today.
Yeah, I've got one more than you do.
Okay.
So I'll surprise you with that one. And you've got one more than I do. So this is fun.
Wait, so how many updates are on your screen right now?
I have 3 from June 9th.
Okay.
Updated dashboard navigation, manage Klarna and Affirm availability at checkout, and compose emails with Breeze Assistant.
So then so what so there's 5?
Or
4?
because we're matching on Breeze Assistant,
Okay.
um, and I do not have domain alignment on shared network.
Okay,
Uh,
yeah, 4.
I'm
That sounds
super interested in what's behind the curtain on that one.
Mhm.
I do not have it on my screen. So let's read it from yours. What is it? Domain alignment on shared network. This feature allows you to configure a custom return path domain for each of your email sending domains, enabling your marketing emails to pass strict authentication policies while sending over our shared network.
Why does it matter? Proper email authentication is one of the strongest signals inbox providers use to elevate sender trust. With a custom return path domain, your sending domain can align with your from address, strengthening your authentication posture, improving deliverability, and meeting the increasingly strict requirements from providers. It also unlocks feature capabilities like BIMI, which displays your brand logo directly in recipients' inboxes. This is quite cool. This is a little above my head. I often describe certain things as, like, just out of reach for me, like, like, I can, like, brush the understanding of this, but I can't quite, like, grasp it. Um
Yeah, can we scroll down a little
Mhm.
bit? Um, so not a ton here. Uh,
I was like, "We can."
so Marketing Hub Enterprise, okay. And I guess my open question that we will not answer right now is this HubSpot helping us force email still? And this is like the game that we play with the Googles and the Microsofts of the world to try and do
Mhm,
mass email sends that
mhm,
people don't want and are naturally blocking. And now
mhm,
it's easier to get through.
mhm.
Um, uh, or is it just like HubSpot updating infrastructure
The second one
in in
sounds
in a
nice.
in not that kind of way, which I don't know why you'd need to do that unless you're trying to do the first thing. Anyways,
Let's do the second one, that sounds really nice.
yeah, if we're gonna use emails, we want them to get through. Uh, so thank you, HubSpot, for helping us do that.
Yeah,
Um,
this is a problem that a lot of companies have, and I am someone that does email marketing. I am someone that has a lot of conversations around, like, especially when we look at more highly secure, um, audiences. I'm thinking my healthcare clients, financial services clients that have more strict rules for their audience. Their audience has more strict rules in their inbox. This is the type of update that's gonna help their emails land where they want them to. I'll end
yeah,
that statement there before
yeah.
riling you up.
I would like to learn more about the phrase strengthening your authentication posture and return path domains in general. So gonna put a pin in that to ask AI about that stuff later.
Mhm,
And if I had it up on my screen, I would have already copy pasted it into Breeze Assistant to have it explain. Um, so there's that. All right. Well, on my side, um, just the highlighting of like Klarna and Affirm availability at checkout, like commerce is happening in HubSpot. Some big things coming next week related to the whole commerce side of HubSpot that I'm excited about. Uh, so if you're curious about commerce, e-commerce and B2B in HubSpot, like please don't hesitate to check it out. That one is specifically related to the payments um, tool in HubSpot. Uh, but let's get to this one because I think this is an interesting conversation, and I'm glad that they kind of break it out. Compose emails with Breeze Assistant.
Ooh,
What is it? Breeze Assistant can now be invoked directly from the CRM email composer to help with writing emails. Users can prompt Breeze to generate or suggest email text in line, review the result, and iterate on it before inserting it into the composer.
Why does this matter? Today, users can ask Breeze Assistant to help draft emails from the sidebar, but many email workflows still happen directly inside the CRM email composer. This means users who primarily work in the composer may not naturally engage with Breeze during the writing process. Bringing Breeze directly into the CRM email composer makes AI assistants available where users already write emails, allowing them to generate, refine, and iterate on email content in line without leaving their existing workflows. So it's live, so I guess we can try it, right?
Yep. Let's see
I'm
here.
sure my email's not connected. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I've got it
Okay.
on my side. It would be right. Just trying to make sure I'm not showing anything I'm not supposed to, aside from my outdated signature, showing that I don't email from HubSpot usually, but that's okay. So I'm on Casey's contact record here. I click the email button, and I can do / morning show follow up, or even suggest a draft. I'm probably just suggesting a draft there just to get us started. But imagine if you come in here, you have a specific workflow, you probably have something you're wanting to say.
And
And
that
again,
slash is how you activated Breeze from there, right?
yep. So if you're familiar with commands or slash commands in your AI of choice, that should not be new for you. And that would be, I mean, we've been doing it like hashtags, like for snippets, and like think of a world where you start processes with slash commands, like to update information and then write the email. And I won't keep going so far ahead, but hey there. Thanks again for the morning show conversation. I enjoyed it and wanted to follow up while everything is still fresh. As promised, here are a few ways we can keep the conversation moving. So, like, it's clear that this draft did not take any context.
I do feel like we don't have the recording, the transcripts in HubSpot for this, right?
Correct. Yeah. We do have emails. We have lots of other context.
I will say, it's not I mean, obviously, It's not a super helpful draft because it's like, if you'd like, I'll send over an email with the what we covered. In a way, you would want this email to just do that. But I
Right.
can see where if I keep thinking, I mean, it's called Breeze Assistant, but I know we talk a lot about, how we should be treating AI as if it is an assistant, and I could see an assistant if I was like, "Hey, I had this meeting today. Could you write a follow-up email for me?" And that's all I told it, like a person. This is pretty much the best I can imagine getting back.
How can we make this email more contextual? And I'm just going to paste it in. And I think something that can highlight here, like in cases where there is no context actually that it's trying to draw from other than
Mhm,
my initial prompt that said morning show follow up,
mhm,
it's going to default to like a sales
mhm,
specific kind of response, um, which is this is that, right? So if
mhm,
you're running into issues where like that, where you're trying to use Breeze or AI assistants, and it kind of feels like it's defaulting to that, it's
mhm,
because it's where the training data tells it to go,
mhm.
and your context is not in good shape.
Um, in the screenshot in the update, there's a reprompt. I also wonder, was that available for you? I should have set this up.
Yes,
Well, okay.
and I
I
chose
do
to
want
insert.
okay. I just wonder if you could have given a similar prompt there to what you just did in
Right. Um,
and there you
Thanks
can edit in
again
Canva, which I know you like.
for the conversation on the morning show today. I always appreciate how quickly we get from ideas into actually what would actually make the next step clear and more useful. Um, so again, it still doesn't have the context it needs to create.
Mhm,
But if I were to just kind of like blank this out and have it suggest a draft, I am curious.
mhm,
Because that's where like the phrase follow up is what took it in that direction, like for sure. Um, Unlikely to be doing a follow up related to the show, probably.
mhm.
Not in this kind of way, at least. So I'm curious if we would think that it's going to look for recent context and recent activity. Um, and it's struggling, folks. It doesn't have the
Mhm,
context it needs. It's trying,
mhm.
and so much that it's timing out. Uh, so
Get your data into
I
HubSpot, Chris,
know,
jeez.
yeah. Um, so not as exciting as I hoped it would be, that demo. Um, and like, let's just see. Let's test this out though. On your side, or I guess on my side, and I can go to Taylor Swift if I still have my email. Does anybody have an email connected to the demo portal?
Yeah, and if I was a more dedicated host, I would have
Right.
configured that while you were doing that other thing, but
Um, like I want this is an opportunity. I like the only reason I want to show an email ever. It's because it's an opportunity to do it better,
mhm,
like without a lot of work and
mhm,
without thinking that AI is just going to do it all. Right. We talked about this yesterday with Clemens on value first data, like putting people in a position to easily construct 80% of the email and then take the context they know they have to make these tweaks or to make a data maintenance, adjustment because it's clearly doesn't have the record associated that it should be seeing when it's trying to create that email for you. There is a ton of opportunity. So I'm just going to go into Taylor Swift's record and remember that I'm sharing my screen as I do this. Yep. So we don't have that connected.
I don't know if she has a lot of context either, so we're probably going to be in a similar.
I'm curious. You know what? Let me just. I really shouldn't do that. I'm curious if the same, if we would get the same behavior, like if there's no context over there versus no context over here, could it prove that it truly is like defaulting to a sales mechanism, or is there something about my portal and my role? Because often, like if you identify as a sales rep as you come into HubSpot for the first time, there are things set in the system for that. So, yeah, still sharing screen.
Okay. Well, this is. Oh man, I don't love that. I did it in my portal for Taylor Swift. Also, this record has like nothing on it, and it drafted like an intro email for Taylor.
Just when you ask for like suggest a draft?
I just clicked suggest a draft, yeah.
Right. Yep. So,
Tell me, I have a couple grievances. What are yours?
I mean, don't ask HubSpot to do this part for you. Like, please put in some human expertise in, like, does this not look like every prospecting email you've ever had in your life? Right? Like, and because we're starting here, just tokenizing this email is not going to help you, because this is where we see, I came across your information. And it's like, okay, we like where that's going, but your information, what does that mean? Oh, let me go look at LinkedIn, and then let me add some Breeze, use data agent to go find and fill in a property of my information. And it still doesn't land, right? But this is why it's so hard for us to grow out of, this kind of behavior, because this is what the training data has, like for Breeze and other AI agents right now. What are your grievances?
I agree with that. Exploring solutions is really, and this might be my fault. This is my portal, which I probably don't have anything in, basically. The your name at the end is the one that I'm most bothered by. Like, my name is in the settings. So that is actually my biggest grievance, is the your name.
And so I think, like, this is where, if I were in right, I didn't give Breeze Assistant a chance. And this is where bringing this into a conversation, like, I'm trying to bring some of my habits that I like, basically I give Claude the benefit of the doubt, and I will have a conversation about why it's not working the way I want it to, or the way it could. And then we fix problems like in that moment about structure or templates or skills or commands, right? And even at the end here, Breeze. And so this is the difference between doing the email in mailbox on the CRM record over here, uh, or in the conversation, right? Because we can do like we have access to both. And like, so if you're just in here in this box because that's your process, like try
Mhm.
to move over because now we can have this conversation. And if you want, I can also give you 3 sharper subject line options or make this feel a little more like your playful show chemistry with Casey. Uh, yes, please. Right. And then as you do this, like whatever the outcome is, like if it's an improvement, you can now tell Breeze, okay, what do we need to change in our system, our templates, our settings to go right to this point? To not have the default, the generic, the
Mhm.
stuff, right? But still from a perspective of I'm going to do the outreach as the human
Mhm.
and I still need the moment to make the tweak, right?
Yeah, and I don't remember if I just said this or thought this yesterday when we were talking to Clement, but one thing I've started doing really just the past couple weeks to keep myself in the loop is instead of asking immediately for like, instead of immediately sending a call transcript and saying, "Can you write a follow-up email for me?" I've started asking, "What do you need to write a follow-up?" Like, I'll ask AI, "What do you need to write a follow-up?" And that I've found has been a good way, not only for me to make sure I'm not just, like, going through the motions, but also I think it has helped AI say, "Wait a minute, I could write a draft with what I have now, but actually I'm missing this or that." And a lot of times it's like, I need you to make a decision on this versus if I just ask it to make a draft, AI makes the decision. And sometimes I don't even like acknowledge or realize because I'm just going through the motions that now I haven't made that decision or I haven't like checked off on that. So,
Yes.
um,
Yes.
just like if you're having trouble finding like, because that first one we pulled up, this right here, "Thanks for the conversation. As promised, here's some follow," like, it would be easy to just send that, and then you've checked the box of sending the follow-up email, and, if Casey replies and says she wants more information, I'll deal with that once that comes up, but, like, one problem solved, let's move to the next one. Um, but that doesn't provide for the best, like, user experience.
Right. I do think we got way closer, like with just one correction from Breeze, with Breeze
Mhm,
offered, right?
mhm,
And um and like it's what we've been talking about in this session
mhm,
and yesterday. Like I don't think it's luck completely that we keep coming back to the same thread. How to take a good conversation, pull out what matters, and turn it into something clear and actually usable without adding
mhm,
more manual mess on the back end. Like
mhm,
the send of this email, if we don't fix it, is the mess on the
mhm,
back end. That
mhm,
um so like this moment of just contextual presence from the human is so important. And if you
mhm,
can build your process around this, like it's just gets better and better if you start to take that approach because Breeze is going to learn
mhm,
too,
mhm,
right? And so cuz I can edit, I mean, we can edit in here directly, right?
mhm.
Like so it's pretty easy to, which is a challenge when we're doing it outside of the CRM, right? And you
Yeah.
like copy paste or you're like, "Ah, I'm just going to do it from here, so get at it Claude and just make it go in HubSpot." And then the only way to edit it is if you do that same thing. Um, like I asked them to find more context And it did. So that's where I would go with this. But then it's like you could start to build in data process
Mhm.
into these moments where let's switch to another Breeze assistant or activate an agent and say, wow, so many records for Casey in here. Like, can you help me merge those? Should we merge those?
Mhm.
Like helping, especially reps, like admins and managers, if you can get to the point, please, like the reps have the context. Need to put them in a position to manage records in this way because it's not always it's rarely like, yep, we should merge those or yep, we should delete that one. Like in the system and the admin and even AI is usually not in the best position
Mhm.
to solve for that. So what happens in practice is you're worried about pissing off the rep, so you don't do it. And then we don't ask the rep to do it because that's not selling or that's not their job or whatever,
Mhm.
right? So we build elaborate workflows and like deduplication systems that, sometimes work great. Other times the rep still gets pissed off. So I think the moral of the story is very powerful to start taking any task. And if you're used to doing it over here, they're making all of this possible inside of a conversation with Breeze.
Mhm.
And I would love for them to, like, instead of doing it in line, just open up this side panel like right away. Like if Breeze is going to generate anything for you, just
Mhm.
bring it over here. Like, because it's already doing things like that where it's generating recommended actions. And if we summarize history, it brings up Breeze Assistant, right?
Mhm.
Um, so lots of potential there. And if we can just get folks into the conversations, like it's gonna be I don't know, how have you like broken people out of like the process, I guess, motion of, oh, I always do it on the CRM record. So unless you bring it over here, I'm not going to adopt it or figure it out. Like, what do you like to do?
Um, I think oftentimes just being able to show the efficiency, whether it's myself or like one of their colleagues, has always been the most successful from my perspective. Um, is and that's why like any like any client I work with, I try to find like person that's most eager to try things and you just kind of lean into that person. Um, and then the people who are less open to change, once you're able to like show tangible success or tangible like benefit, that often is what's helpful for me. Um, and then the other part is sometimes taking baby steps. Like I have one client um, who we've redone a lot of their reporting, and they were a little kind of stuck in their old reports, but we just kind of inched a little bit closer, um, which took a while. It wasn't overnight, but that has helped too. So if you're able to kind of find a path that way rather than just like, this is the new way.
Yeah. Yeah. And if we can find any way, I I think the major change for most practitioners, uh, consultants, coaches, admins, managers,
Mhm.
find a way to start exposing people to the Breeze assistant
Mhm.
conversations. they're not going to change right away. But at some point, like it's never been easier to try and show something in HubSpot. You don't have to build it. Like so often in the past, we're like, oh, let me just make this version of the record and then show it to them. And then maybe they'll get it and want to start. And it's like, nope. Like, or maybe 1 out of 10 hits, but that was 10 hours because each iteration took that long. Right now, it's like, hey, I just want to show you something, and just like this, it's going to be mere exposure effect, like plus how they're feeling in that moment and what's on their mind of what tasks they need to get done. Because as I was like, two interesting moments as we wrap, like it will, like when I type in Casey here and it gives me options, it's like maybe I should summarize before I send the email. Right. And when I did that, it gave me a great summary and showed me some data that I probably need to clean up. Because, yeah. But then I just noticed this too. Ask Breeze. Like as I'm searching, right? And I click that and it just brings Casey over, right? Whatever's in the search bar, it brought over to start having a conversation, which I think is new. But so this is the difference in, like, you're only going to understand how this works for you if you start clicking these buttons. And if your people can start clicking these buttons and understanding that just because they click the button doesn't mean any data is going to change anywhere without them saying that it needs to. But this Ask Breeze, so just came over, copy paste, no pre-structured prompt, right? When I did summarize history, it had summarize recent activity for Casey Hawkins, key emails, calls, meetings, open deals, and any pending items only. Be concise, bullet points, no lengthy narrative. Right? Just from clicking this summarize history button. Right? So find a way, folks, and we're going to keep showing it every day. It's a step change in a big way. So I don't think we'll have to start calling the show another Breeze Morning, but you know, I did appreciate when they first came out with the branding, like easy breezy, like AI, like thinking of it from that perspective. Finally, we're here with Breeze.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll work on our narrative and messaging to start working in how much of a breeze it is to use HubSpot AI. Casey.
It's a breeze.
All us marketing team. It's meanwhile I say that it's probably like all over like the B2C, like in like major marketing. That's it for today. We will wrap it there. Join us next time on Another Morning tomorrow. Everybody have a great rest of your Wednesday.
Bye.